The Brothers Karamazov. Author, Fyodor Dostoevsky. The Brothers Karamazov, by Fyodor Dostoevsky, first published in 1880, is a philosophical and psychological novel set in 19th-century Russia. The story revolves around the Karamazov family, particularly the relationship between the father, Fyodor Pavlovich Karamazov, and his three sons, Dmitri, Mitya, Ivan, and Alexei, Alyosha. It explores profound themes of faith, doubt, free will, morality, and the existence of God, with a murder mystery at its core. The novel weaves together deep philosophical discussions with intense family drama, examining the nature of evil and human suffering. Part 1: The Karamazov Family. The Karamazovs are a deeply dysfunctional family, and each of the brothers represents different aspects of human nature and philosophy. Fyodor Pavlovich Karamazov is a debauched, selfish, and corrupt man. He is a neglectful father who has lived a life of indulgence, contributing to the troubled upbringing of his sons. Dmitri, Mitya, the eldest son, is passionate and impulsive. He struggles with uncontrolled desires, particularly for money and love, and represents the embodiment of sensualism and raw emotion. Ivan, the middle son, is an intellectual and rational thinker. He is tormented by questions of faith and the existence of God, ultimately representing doubt and atheism. His philosophical beliefs lead him to question morality, justice, and the nature of evil. Alexei, Alyosha, the youngest son, is a devout and kind-hearted young man. He is deeply religious and follows the teachings of the monastery and its elder, Father Zosima. Alyosha represents faith, love, and spiritual purity. There is also a fourth, illegitimate son, Smerdyakov, who works as a servant for Fyodor and is a key figure in the events that follow. Part 2: The Love Triangle and Dmitri's Struggles. A significant portion of the plot revolves around a love triangle involving Fyodor, Dmitri, and a woman named Grushenka. Dmitri is engaged to a woman named Katerina Ivanovna, but he becomes infatuated with Grushenka, a passionate and manipulative woman who is also desired by Fyodor. The rivalry between father and son over Grushenka heightens the tension between them, leading to violent confrontations. Dmitri is in desperate need of money to resolve his debts and fulfill his commitment to Katerina, but he believes his father is withholding his rightful inheritance. This financial dispute, combined with the love triangle, causes Dmitri to spiral into intense emotional turmoil. His erratic behavior and rage against his father make him a prime suspect when Fyodor is later found murdered. Part 3: Ivan's Philosophical Struggles and the Problem of Evil. While Dmitri's story focuses on passion and emotion, Ivan's arc delves into deep philosophical questions. He is haunted by the problem of evil and the suffering of innocent people. One of the most famous chapters in the novel, The Grand Inquisitor, is a conversation Ivan has with Alyosha, in which he presents a parable about Christ returning during the time of the Spanish Inquisition. In this parable, Christ is rejected by the Church because human beings, according to Ivan's reasoning, prefer security and authority over the burden of free will and moral responsibility. Ivan's struggles reflect Dostoevsky's exploration of atheism and religious doubt. He cannot reconcile the existence of a benevolent God with the reality of suffering in the world, particularly the suffering of children, which he views as unjustifiable. Ivan's intellectual rejection of God is contrasted with Alyosha's simple, unwavering faith, which is grounded in love and compassion rather than logic. Part 4: The Murder of Fyodor Karamazov. The novel's central mystery unfolds when Fyodor Karamazov is found murdered, and suspicion falls on Dmitri, who had both motive and opportunity. Dmitri's hatred for his father, combined with his desperation for money and his love for Grushenka, makes him the obvious suspect. However, Dmitri maintains his innocence, claiming that while he did attack his father earlier, he did not kill him. The investigation and trial that follow become a focal point of the novel, highlighting issues of justice, morality, and the complexity of human motives. Dmitri is put on trial, and his passionate nature works against him as the prosecution paints him as a reckless and violent man driven by base desires. Part 5: Smerdyakov's Role and Ivan's Breakdown. The novel takes a darker turn when it is revealed that Smerdyakov, the illegitimate son, was the true murderer. Smerdyakov, who had been influenced by Ivan's philosophical ideas about free will and morality, took Ivan's words as justification for killing Fyodor. Ivan, in a sense, becomes morally complicit in the crime, as his rejection of conventional morality and his discussions of intellectual freedom indirectly inspire Smerdyakov's actions. This revelation leads to Ivan's mental breakdown, as he is consumed by guilt and the realization that his intellectual detachment has contributed to real-world evil. The weight of his philosophical doubts and the consequences of his ideas drive him to madness, culminating in visions of the devil, where he is tormented by his internal conflicts. Part 6, Alyosha and the Path to Redemption. Throughout the novel, Alyosha serves as a spiritual anchor, not only for his brothers but also for the wider community. He is closely connected to the elder father Zosima, who preaches love, forgiveness, and the importance of community. Zosima's teachings guide Alyosha through the darkest moments of the story, and despite the suffering and tragedy around him, Alyosha remains steadfast in his faith. Alyosha's role in the novel is to embody the possibility of redemption, even in a world filled with suffering and evil. His compassion and moral clarity stand in stark contrast to the moral ambiguities and doubts faced by his brothers. In the end, Alyosha emerges as a figure of hope, showing that despite the darkness in the world, love and faith can still provide meaning and guidance. Major themes and philosophical reflections. Faith versus doubt. One of the central themes in The Brothers Karamazov is the conflict between faith and doubt, as exemplified by Ivan and Alyosha. Ivan's intellectual rejection of God and moral absolutes stands in stark contrast to Alyosha's simple, heartfelt belief in love and spirituality. The novel does not provide easy answers but presents a nuanced exploration of these opposing worldviews. The nature of evil. Dostoevsky grapples with the existence of evil in the world, particularly the suffering of innocent people. Through Ivan's philosophical musings and the crime committed by Smerdyakov, the novel examines whether evil is inherent in human nature or if it arises from societal and intellectual influences. Free will and responsibility. The question of free will is central to the novel's exploration of morality. Ivan's rejection of traditional morality and his embrace of intellectual freedom lead to unintended consequences, as Smerdyakov interprets his ideas as permission to commit murder. The novel suggests that with freedom comes responsibility, and the denial of moral absolutes can have devastating consequences. Conclusion. The Brothers Karamazov is a complex and multifaceted novel that delves into the deepest questions of human existence. Through the lives and struggles of the Karamazov family, Dostoevsky explores themes of faith, doubt, free will, and morality, while also presenting a gripping and tragic family drama. The novel's philosophical depth and psychological insight have made it one of the most revered works of world literature. The end.